This is Secret America with your hosts, Jack Danger and James Clary.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Jack Danger, along with the beautiful James Clary. Look at that smile. Love the smile, the shirt, everything. Looking good today. You got the product in the hair. I'm loving it. Looking sharp for
Hell yeah.
America.
Hell yeah.
Well, looks great. It looks great, man. But honestly, though, the first topic we got to talk about is something that's near and dear to my heart, something that's serious, something that's angering, James. And that is the anti-white racism in America today. It is absolutely off the charts horrible. If you know what I'm talking about, the thing that's really got everybody up in arms now is the absolute horrible, sickening murder by DeCarlos Brown Jr. of Irina Zarutska. And it is absolutely horrible. I mean, she walks onto this light rail train, right? She sits there, she's texting, she's minding her own business. This mentally ill, and I'm going to say black man, let's be real, it was black on white violence. This mentally ill black man, out of nowhere, stabs her in the neck multiple times. She bleeds to death on the train. This is a man, James, that was arrested 14 times for different felonies, all the way up to armed robbery and whatnot. A judge, and get this is something that people don't know. The judge that let him out last time actually recommended that he go to Second Chance Rehabilitation or whatever. She's the director of Second Chance Rehabilitation. She's letting these criminals out to get business for her business, James. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, this topic deserves a lot more attention than it's getting, even though it is top of mind for a lot of people. But, you know, I've mentioned this before. There is some pushback. I just interviewed, and I really encourage people to follow Carmen Jaycee, Jaycee on YouTube. She's a super bright, engaging creator. She's black, and she's calling it out, you know. And I just interviewed her, my latest show on clarification at ksgf.com, and Carmen actually posted on her YouTube channel. But dude, you and I talk a lot. I mean, the name of the show is Secret America.
Mm-hmm.
This is an agenda that's been in the works for several decades. I mean, you can go all back to Lyndon Johnson and the Civil Rights Act and how the parties supposedly switched. And you remember that Johnson said, I'll have those N-words. And, you know, I don't like saying that word. I've just, you know, it's been ingrained to me how nasty it is. But
that is right there what you just said.
That's part of the problem.
That is part of the propaganda. They ingrain that into your mind.
I know. Yep. I'm not going to say it just because I don't want our first of all, I'm not a hateful person. I'm not going to use a hateful word. Second of all, I don't want our podcast to get flagged because some old fat white guy used the N-word. But Lyndon Johnson said, we'll have the N-words voting for us for the next 100 years. And he was absolutely right. And you go on, you see these actions. Obama ramped it up big time. Remember, what was he? A community organizer? That is code for Marxist agitator. He was a provocateur. He had a plan all along when he came into his administration to increase the tension between the races. Mm-hmm. And Jack, we've seen it not just with blacks and whites. We've seen it with the groups on the Hispanic side, like La Raza, which means the race. And, you know, it's, if you get down, you drill down, it's all Marxist, Saul Alinsky, communist BS. And the thing is, it's terrible that these blacks in the hood are quite honestly not educated enough to realize that they're being used as pawns, and they've just got this hatred. It's not just hate, and it is a segment, as Carmen pointed out. She said, look, and Jack, I have to say, I work with several black people. They're just perfectly normal people like you and me.
For the most part.
Yeah, the ones I work with anyway. But I'm saying there's an element that bought into the whole Michael Johnson, St. George Floyd.
Oh, Michael Brown. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, and going back to what's his name? Oh, I'm losing my mind. The guy that Martinez got charged in Florida.
Trayvon Martin. Yep.
Trayvon Martin. As a matter of fact, Carmen and several other creators, we've talked about this. The Trayvon Martin case was a total lie. The prosecution brought a woman in who pretended to be someone else, and they knew it. The prosecution was never charged for that. The guy should have been disbarred. Jack, the Soros judges, the no cash bail, it's all part of this system intended to divide us. They want a race war. I mean, Charlie Manson was not far off when he said that, the man wants a race war.
Oh, yeah.
Because I totally believe that. And you see an incident, and I'm sorry, I've gone a little astray, but this incident that this woman, this beautiful Ukrainian, recently immigrated here, is stabbed in the neck for no reason. And the guy had been arrested 14 times. I mean,
14 mugshots, everything, the whole nine.
That's the whole deal. They're not letting those people out because they think that he can be rehabilitated. They're letting him out because they know he will commit more crimes. They want this. And when I say they, it's the same they that you and I talk about every week. It's the fucking globalist cabal, however you want to name them. It's this group of powerful elites who want to control the society and change the society. And they'll do it however they can, Jack. It's a travesty, and it breaks my heart. It really does. Look at Hollywood and the stuff they're putting out. Look what they've done on television commercials. That's intentional. The NFL. I know you're a big sports guy, but
God, yes.
They're
doing the black anthem before every freaking game, man.
They have end racism in the end zones. I mean, it is so ridiculous. People see that and they're going, what the hell are you talking about? It's like Carmen and every other.
These supposed anti-racist policies are the most racist policies I've seen in 60 years.
Well, see, that's how they flipped it on its head. That Ibram X. Kendi and these other people, they wrote these books, White Guilt and White Fragility, anti-racism. There's no such thing. Nobody in their right mind is for racists. And I'll tell you who is really doing a great job calling out is Nick Fuentes. He is calling it out, and he's calling a spade, if you will. I mean, you look at these videos of just this entitled, arrogant, uneducated, this certain percentage of that community, and it's infuriating. And it's not just infuriating to white guys like me. It's infuriating to the normal black people who just want to go to work and live their life. And they see this crap. It drives them crazy. I mean, Carmen, Kendall, I follow many black creators on YouTube because I really enjoy their content, and they're calling it out. They're like, this is moronic.
Well, James, and I want to say that it is moronic, but it's also extremely angering because it's not just the fact that the deep state and the globalists are doing this. It's the fact that there are black people and white people and everybody else that listen, that believe this propaganda. These have you seen? I mean, you will not find videos of white people randomly attacking black people, but you got 6-month-old children randomly attacking 6-month-old white children. I've seen it. I've got the video proof.
I know.
These people are I want to say training their children to attack white people.
Oh,
This is
dude,
like the exact reverse of the 1950s. And I thought the goal was to get away from that entirely. I go on Google, I say, all right, after this murder, I'm going to be a white nationalist. That's totally different than white supremacy. That is just white pride like any other pride for any other race. Except on Google, they say it's an extremist ideology that has white supremacy undertones. An extremist ideology. I type in black nationalists, they say, oh, it's all about pride and, love of their race and shit. They are actively dividing us, James, and the propaganda is working, and they're doing it, James.
But see, I'm warning you to not fall into the trap.
But I'm very pissed. I'm tired of this shit. Black fatigue, I got it. I got it by the ass load. Okay, I'm not mad at black people in general. Most black people are fine.
That's what I'm saying. My point is most black people have black fatigue. It's the ratchet hood rats that we're talking about. They're uneducated. They bought all the propaganda. The white man's keeping them down. Let's just remember, and we need to say very importantly, that most black people have black fatigue. They're sick of it. Everybody's sick of it. It's
James, I want you to hear some of this shit. Real quick, I want you to hear some of this shit, okay? So someone put out a tweet, and this is very telling to me. White privilege is a speeding ticket for going 11 miles per hour over. Black privilege is getting released after a minor murder episode. Jewish privilege is going back to Israel after you rape kids. It seems like this is only happening to white people. It's not happening to the Jewish people, not happening here. I mean, what the hell is... Let me tell you something else, James. I want you to listen to this. This is even more telling than any of that. Okay, so there was a study done on racial bias in juries, okay? A black jury has a 12% conviction rate against black defendants. Man, a black jury has a 59% conviction rate against white juries. Okay, that means there's a 47% difference based on your skin color if you have a black jury. White juries have a 33% conviction rate against white defendants. They only have a 26% conviction rate against black defendants. That's telling you right now, our entire society is buying this racial divide bullshit. And it's because the media controls at least half of America. And if you know this, James, there were 75,000 articles about George Floyd. 75,000 about Irina Zarutska, who was murdered a couple of weeks ago. Zero, James.
No, I know. I mean, I watched a video today of a father encouraging his son in a grocery store, black father, black kid, to knock cereal boxes off the shelf. You know, it was a little toddler. I saw another one where a woman's in the store and the kid keeps grabbing candy. The kid's maybe 3. And the store owner's like, you got to get out of here. No, you can't have your stuff. You're not controlling your child. The child looks up, and I don't care. I'm just going to say, this is a 3-year-old, looks up at the man and says, shut your fucking mouth, bitch.
Wow.
I mean, dude, it's stunning. And I know
they're teaching their kids to do this shit.
I agree, but it's once again, it's the ratchet hood rats. Now there's some carryover into the black middle class for sure. But I think most reasonable black people, and that's why I seek out these black creators for my radio show, because I'm showing that it's not everybody, and we can't fall into their trap and like we want a race war. If it's the hood rats, the gangsters, the wannabe gangsters want to come in my neighborhood and, get it on with their ARs. Okay, bring it. But, it's not black against white. It's a subculture. But culture is the word. That is the problem. Rap music and Hollywood have destroyed a great percentage of the black culture. That music is so disturbing, dude. Have you ever watched the Sexy Red video? Have you watched one of her videos? It's pornography.
It's not just about being just a small fraction of black people. People are tired of seeing them get away with murder. They're killing white people. I mean, every video you see, they're not just killing white people. They're killing lots of black people too. But they're getting away with every single crime. What is the point of laws if criminals aren't aren't prosecuted.
Yeah, but look, we allowed George Soros to put prosecutors in like 400 counties in the United States. We allowed the Democrats to control the elections. They steal the votes. They did this. Remember, was it Brezhnev that said we're going to conquer the United States without ever firing a shot? The communists think long term. They've been planning this forever, and unfortunately, what do you call it? Small or large percentage of the black communities has swallowed this bullshit hook, line, and sinker, and white liberals.
Let me give you a statistic real quick, James. I want you to hear this. In 1900, the year 1900, the white population in the world was 36%. That is 1/3 of the world was white in 1900. Today, that is 8%, James. 8%. Yeah. We are the massive minority, yet we are treated as if we are the oppressors. Every race in history has been the oppressor. No, and and honestly, I feel bad that I have black fatigue. I feel bad that I'm angry at a certain race, even though it's not most of the race that's doing it. It is the media that is causing all of this.
Yeah, but it's way beyond that. The media is one
if
part.
If the media held the prosecutors accountable, they would prosecute. If the media put out the stories, they would do it.
What about the university system? Where do you think this ideology comes from?
But it's all, I mean, those people are few and far between because there's only a few thousand at a time. The media controls half this population, James, and they it's constant stories about the black being the oppressed, white being the oppressor, zero stories that do not fit the narrative. If it was not for X, James, we wouldn't know about this shit.
Well, and that's, like I said, that's why I follow and try and amplify these black creators who are speaking sense, like Kendall and Carmen and other people that I've interviewed. You know, they're disgusted.
This right here, what Green Eye just said, James, is huge. Muslims are taking over the world.
Well, every family has 15 children.
Exactly. But the problem is we're allowing them to take over the world. If they take over everything, James, imagine Sharia law being what you have to follow from now on. Imagine that you can't eat pork, you can't drink alcohol, you can't gamble, you can't, your wife, she has to wear a head to toe fucking trash bag. I mean, they can beat the hell out of your wife if they want to. I mean, it's sick shit. They rape little kids. And I'm sorry to the Muslims. It's not all Muslims. Again, nothing is all something. Okay, right. It's not all Muslims. It's not all black people.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it is a section of these people that are pissing me off.
Not all white people are non-racist. There's racist.
No, of course not. Of course not. But see, it's shit like this that makes racist.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Leanne, my girlfriend, and I talk about this all the time. I'm just be very honest. I've said to her, I go, I was raised so anti-racist. I've told you the story. My mother was involved in the civil rights movement and everything, blah, 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 blah. I was raised a liberal Democrat. And that some of this shit, it makes me, that's why I said caution, because I know what you see on your screen does not represent what's going on in society. We have to remember that. I mean, I work with black people. They're not like that.
No, it doesn't represent, it doesn't represent the majority. But I can tell you what does represent the majority: non-prosecution of crimes because of the color of your skin.
Yeah.
Media, not sharing the news because of the color of your skin. That represents the majority.
Carmelo Anthony raising $1 million is just outrageous.
DeCarlos Brown right now, a white man, put up a DeCarlos Brown GoFundMe. Guess what? There is a white woman right now in the UK. She is in prison for life in Dubai, I think it is, or some country over there. She's in prison for life because she happened to be in an apartment that had cocaine in it. They gave her 25 years in some shithole country right now where she's being raped daily. Guess what? The GoFundMe took down her GoFundMe for legal fees, but they keep up to Carlos Brown, who murdered a white woman.
Isn't Shiloh Hendricks being prosecuted for saying the N-word? She is. Remember the woman on the playground? Yeah. And she had that viral video I just read. She's being prosecuted.
But see,
For a
if the
hate crime.
N-word, if you can be prosecuted for the N-word, James, what word can you be prosecuted for calling the white man?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
How
cracker.
can you be prosecuted for a word unless you're in the UK?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to be. It'll be struck down eventually, and she's getting some legal help. Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. But once again, I think it was Green Eyed Bot said they've been playing it for decades. She just joined. That's what I started this whole dialogue with. This has been in the works and the planning. Obama just ramped it up. It was going on way before that. And
well,
look,
see, nobody noticed any of this shit, James, until Donald Trump came along and got people paying attention. Like I said many times, and you know this, James, I voted for Obama in 2008.
So did I.
I voted for Mitt Romney in 2012 because after that I saw what was going on, and there was no other choice. There was no other choice. But Donald Trump got me paying attention to what's going on around the world now. I got to tell you right now that even though I do sometimes wish I was more ignorant so I could go back to my worldview before Trump got elected, I will say that the world can, and especially America, can change now thanks to Donald Trump. He got half the population paying attention, and that is why that's why they hate him, James. That is why the deep state hates him, because you and I are paying attention now.
Well, I've been paying attention since 2003 when I figured out.
It was just a metaphor. You and I.
No. I know. I'm just saying that 9/11 was my red pill moment when I saw Loose Change, that killer documentary that was taken off YouTube for a very long time.
So I was a Sandy Hook.
Yeah. Oh, look. I mean, I'll say it. That was a freaking fake event. I don't care what anyone says.
People need to go watch that documentary. It's called We Need to Talk About Sandy Hook.
We need to talk about Sandy Hook. Well, this brings me into what I wanted to talk about, Jack, because all of this is connected. I've been doing some research into some events after our killer interview with Margaret last week about the OKC bombing. There's some other events that I think we can tie in, and I want to start with the Las Vegas shooting.
Mm-hmm.
The Las Vegas, Emerald Robinson, I believe is her name, did a killer documentary. You can look it up, but a lot of things have come out since she made that documentary. Now, there was a Las Vegas news station that reported on what I'm about to tell you. You remember the gentleman who supposedly did the Las Vegas shooting was a guy named Stephen Paddock, right? And he was supposedly an accountant, but he just happened to bring all these weapons. And remember, the FBI never gave us a motive? That was the strangest thing.
No motive whatsoever. This man decided to kill 60 some odd people.
Right. Well, a letter was uncovered, Jack, by one of his clients. It's been verified that this is one of Paddock's clients. And it was a reference letter to another potential client. So Paddock must have said, hey, can you write a letter for me recommending my accounting service to this guy? Mm-hmm. Now, in the letter, he says, Stephen is a great guy. He is always on point. He's always honest. And his 15 years in the CIA really helped him with his accounting background. And he'll tell you some great stories about the CIA. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Paddock was in the CIA, okay? Now, his girlfriend, who, remember, she was like, oh, she was in the Philippines. She didn't do, even though she told the FBI, you might find my fingerprints on a few of the cartridges because I did help load them. It turns out that researchers have uncovered that she had an association with the FBI. Wow. So Paddock, his girlfriend, they were feds. Paddock was CIA. Now, let me take you to, you've got the OKC bombing, which was obviously a Fed operation. You've got the J6 pipe bomber, Fed operation. There were Feds all over the crowd during J6. You've got going back to Waco. Now, I showed you a picture. See if I can find that picture again. And I asked you, who do you think that is? And I'm going to hold it up for you guys listening to see. Type in the comments, Bot, and you others. Tell me who you think this is. Let me make sure I can. There.
Yeah, that person looks awful familiar.
Who do you guys think that is?
Can I say who I think it is?
Yeah.
It looks to me a lot like a little bit heavier Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, it looks very much like Jeffrey Epstein. That guy's name is Tony Rodham. He's Hillary Clinton's brother. He died a week before Jeffrey Epstein. I'm going to throw something out that you might think is a little crazy, but I'm going to give you just a little background. Now, because I've gone from Vegas to OKC, now I'm going to J6, now I'm going to Epstein. What was Epstein's main gig? People forget what it is. They think he was a trafficker. That's not what he did. He provided young, mainly teenage girls. He wasn't into little kids. He provided teenage girls to his clients to seal deals. He was a money manager, but primarily he was an arms dealer. Yeah. What was Stephen Paddock? An arms dealer. Besides drugs, how does the CIA make all their money? They sell arms. No, they do that too, but arms, they're arms dealers. What was Iran-Contra all about? It was about arms. What was Benghazi about? You remember? It was an arms deal. Stephen Paddock was selling arms. He's a former CIA guy, and the FBI said he was a lunatic and just went crazy and shot all these people. They claimed that he shot 1,200, I think it was, to be exact, 1,050 rounds, except all the evidence shows us that he didn't fire more than 350 rounds. The shell casings would be piled up on the floor. Now, going back to Epstein, you know, the cameras in the hallways were broken. What most people don't realize, there was a camera in his cell. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
There was. Guess what? It wasn't working either. The two guards that were hired that night, you know, Frick and Frack, those two just totally ignorant. They're the dumbest of the dumb people. One of them, it turns out, the guy, it was a guy and a girl, and the guy's name was, I think, Michael Thomas, wasn't even a guard. He was a temp. We know that they didn't check. Epstein's cell was 15 feet away. The female guard had actually beaten up her trainer. This was a black woman because she said the trainer told her to do something. She said it was racist, so she beat her up, and they kept her on. They put her to go charge. Epstein, the most important prisoner in the U.S. prison systems, he was on suicide watch 3 times in spite of telling his lawyer and everybody else he was a pussy, he was terrified of pain, and he would never take his life.
What do you? I want to get your real quick.
Okay, so this is. I'm going to wrap this up right now. Go ahead. Epstein, I don't believe he died. I believe Epstein is alive, and I think they used Tony Rodham's autopsy photos. There's one photo that we know for sure it wasn't Epstein.
The nose.
You go back and look at the no, it was the ear. Ears.
You see his nose?
Yeah, but ears are readily identifiable. You can tell every ear is like a fingerprint. It's uniquely different. They didn't, why, if they're taking, going to release autopsy photos, didn't they release one straight on? None of them are. They're like from these weird angles like this, but there's one where you can see his ear. It's Tony Rodham's ear. It is definitely not Jeffrey Epstein's ear. And going back to Oklahoma City, I'm going to say that, what's his name? What's the guy who did it? It's supposedly in Oklahoma City. Timothy McVeigh. I think McVeigh's alive as well. I think these guys were working for the feds. I think Epstein, they said, oh, we're going to, just remember going back to Cash and Bongino, and I'll wrap this up. Oh, yeah, he definitely killed himself. Yeah, look at the noses.
Look at this. This is Epstein's actual nose.
Right.
And this is look at the skin tone for one. But then look at the nose here.
Completely different, dude. That was not Epstein in those photos. Look, Epstein, I believe, was working for Mossad, CIA, just like Stephen Paddock was. Who knows? Paddock may not be dead. They faked these deaths because the implications, like something Margaret said last week, just really stuck with me, and I'll stop after this, I promise. She said, if if they admit to this,
Mm-hmm.
the liability would be overwhelming for the government. And I think we're in the middle of some very dark shit going on in the Trump administration. Not that they're doing dark things. I think it's being uncovered and they're kind of flipping out.
Oh,
They don't
without a
even
doubt.
know. They don't know what to do. I think that's why Cash and Bongino had to lie.
And I think that's
What do
why
you
they had to
think?
bring in Andrew Bailey also. They needed an actual lawyer in there. But I will tell you that you're absolutely right. Epstein is most likely alive. And yes, the reason that they haven't released the Epstein files also is because these are the kind of things that would take down the entire United States government. And it's just
Along
something
with
that
Israel.
they can't have.
Yeah.
Exactly. It could take down the whole freaking world. It could start a chain reaction.
Or the
where,
Five
okay,
Eyes. Yeah.
if you go down, I'm taking you with me. Then I'm taking you with me. Then I'm taking you with me. It could start a chain reaction that takes down the whole freaking world. I want to ask you about something. What do you think? And he did recant, but I don't think he misspoke. What do you think about Speaker Johnson saying that Trump was an FBI informant to bring down Epstein?
I didn't even hear that. What?
Really? Whoa.
I've been
yes,
busy.
He said that Trump was actually an FBI informant that was there to bring down Epstein. He later recanted.
Well, Trump, remember the prosecutor said that Trump was like one of the only people in Epstein's orbit who was super cooperative. He called him, Trump did reach out to the feds and said, anything you need.
And he said he recanted, obviously, which was a bullshit recant. I misspoke or whatever it was. But no,
right.
He said, plain as day, this man was an FBI informant to bring down Epstein. I mean, if that came out, that's something. See, first of all, Trump doesn't want it to come out because it makes him look bad. But I also think it makes him look good. It proves that he wasn't in on any of the bullshit that Epstein was in on.
No, I totally agree. And dude, I'm in this weird place. I really feel, and I'm interested to know what our audience thinks. I feel like we're on the verge of just some really big thing happening. And I don't know what it is. I mean, but these connections in my head of all these events that we know are bullshit, even the Brigitte Macron being a man. I mean, it's all connected with this just weird and all the sexual perversion and the trash we start.
But who runs
connected.
It can't be everybody. It cannot be everybody. There is a group of people, a group of very few people that decide policy. They decide where the media goes. They decide the mood of the country. They decide what the next big thing is. Who are these people, James?
Well, there was a Dutch banker, whistleblower, and I'm doing all this from memory. I haven't looked any of this up, but I read extensively. This guy said he was invited in to be part of, I think he called it the Illuminati at the time. Mm-hmm. And he got several steps in and he finally backed out because the last rite of initiation was raping a child. That it was satanic.
That I do not doubt,
nature.
But I also doubt his story because there's no way they'd let you back out at that point. If you're at that point where you know these things, you ain't backing out. You ain't backing out.
But I think, look, we've talked about it before. This is a good versus evil thing. And, I talked to you offline about this accelerationism that it's just a crazy stuff with these They've
had to do it because of Trump winning his thing. With Trump winning, right? It took away 4 years for them to push their agenda. So once they stole the election and put Biden in, they had to accelerate everything at warp speed. Before that, it was to where nobody would really notice. It was peppered in. Now it's in your face. My thing is, the biggest secret, James, you and I could possibly expose is who runs this cabal.
Well,
there is a cabal.
No, I think look at the Bilderberg Group, look at the World Economic Forum.
The Rothschild.
It's not 10 people, look, it's the bankers. when your company goes multinational and you become a billionaire plus, you're invited into this club, and there's some very
Elon Musk is
dark
the richest
things.
man in the world, and even he's not in this club. I'm thinking that you have to be a sinister person, obviously. They have to recognize that in you, that you're willing to do dirty shit. First of all, they have to have dirt on you. They're not going to allow you into a club where you can find out everything about them if they don't have dirt on you that they can expose. But
Yeah.
I want to, James, there is a cabal, and I don't care what anybody says. You're never going to convince me otherwise. There is a cabal that actually decides who gets prosecuted, who does what the mood of this country is, who assassinates this president, who gets to be president here. They run things. It's not just bankers over here, person over here, person over here. It is actually a group. If you ever seen them show The Blacklist, okay, there is there's an actual cabal of people from all over the world that make the decisions, and there's a director that actually directs the cabal. There is something similar in real life, and my ultimate secret would be able to expose who that person is, because I don't care. Even if you have a cabal, you have to have someone at the top. There has to be someone that directs everything. I want to know who that is.
Well, taking it back to a spiritual level, it might be the Dark Prince eventually, whoever comes to set off Armageddon. Remember that Revelations, and I can't quote Bible verse, but basically says he'll be cheered and admired.
Doesn't he have to be likable? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like an Obama, smooth talking, everybody.
I actually thought at one point that he was the Antichrist. You're talking about a man that was loved by almost everybody, half black, half white, kind of pushed together. Yeah. I thought, this guy, if anybody's the fucking Antichrist, it's Barack Obama.
Well, and then we find out he's CIA too. His whole family was CIA. I mean, all this shit runs.
Even he was being run by somebody. Yeah.
Yes, all of it runs back to the intel. Look, this cabal you're talking about runs the intel agencies. They run the drug trafficking. They run the human smuggling. It's
why they do the blackmail operations, James. Knowledge is power. If you have information that you can hold over somebody's head, you run them.
Well, it's just like, I use the Godfather analogy when they put the senator with a prostitute and they kill her somehow and he wakes up and he's next to a dead prostitute. That's not good enough anymore. Particularly a prostitute has to be next to a dead child that you had sexually assaulted. That's why I think that's why the pedophilia thing grew so big, is that the intel agencies are using, and once again, back to Margaret's statement, think of the liability if this comes out, that our agencies, along with the Five Eyes, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, France, they're using children to further the aims. And I think
children are their currency. That's why the United States is the largest the United States government are the largest child traffickers in the world.
Well, yeah, and you remember, I just claimed that Epstein is alive and that they used Tony Rodham, who looks exactly like Epstein,
as the theory.
For the fill-in, and he just died a week before. Remember, Hillary's confidant was caught smuggling 18 children out of Haiti after the earthquake.
Yeah.
I mean, it all ties together, and I think maybe, I don't know. I mean,
the Antichrist. Gavin Newsom could be the Antichrist.
Yeah,
Let me tell you. Have you seen the polls out? They are saying that Gavin Newsom would beat Donald Trump in an election right now. Or no, JD Vance. They're saying right now that Gavin Newsom not only is favored to win the 2028 presidency by 8 points over JD Vance, but Newsweek, yes, I did say Newsweek, says that Gavin Newsom is more popular than Donald Trump right now.
They control the narrative, bro.
That's the whole point. Whoever controls the media controls the people.
The problem is they don't control shows like ours, and there's thousands of alternative media shows, and then there's some that are just huge, like Tucker Carlson, And
ours will be there one day. We got great listeners like Free, Kilburn, Terry, Green Eye, Deb, everybody, man, everybody.
Regardless, I mean, there are a lot of really good podcasts out there that dig into this stuff, much deeper than you or I do even. And it's just, what I'm saying is, look, the mainstream media loses juice every week. As a matter of fact, did you hear the story? They want to give Barry Weiss editorial control at CBS.
Really?
I mean, it's insane.
James, how are they still alive after all? They lost their USAID funding. Okay. They lost that. Their ratings are about as low as I have ever seen. How are these networks still alive? How are they still putting out the propaganda? And why are people still believing it?
I always go to Leanne's mother. She's from a little town called Walnut Hill. She lives in Centralia, Illinois, but she grew up on a farm. She grew up watching the Today Show, back when it was whoever. And that's your trusted news source. She was a Democrat. She was what do they call a blue dog Democrat, for the working man. Da, 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 da. She's never changed, Jack. And she still watches that stuff, and she believes everything she sees on like the Today Show.
Funny you say that, James, because that is exactly early on in our show, like maybe the third or fourth episode, I interviewed Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah, I remember that.
And actually, believe it or not, James, I spoke to him recently, and he wanted us to book something to come back on our show live. Yeah. So we might have Dinesh D'Souza on one of the next few episodes. But awesome. He actually said, James, and this stuck with me. The media right now are trading on all the trust capital that they had in the past. In the past, they were they were seen as the people's champion of the people, the truth.
Right.
They would go out and find the truth. New York Times, CNN, Good Morning America, all these shows, they are now trading on all that capital that they have built up. They are trading on it to lie to you. Now they're spending all that capital. It is almost gone, but that capital they built up has worked, and it is still working.
Yeah, I think a lot of those people are dying off, to be honest with you. I mean, Leanne's mother's still with us. Thank God, Mary Lou. Shout out to you. She's awesome. But, I don't fault her. But, look at Donald Trump got a massive support from young people. Young people are waking up. Thank God. That's our future. Young men, particularly.
You're absolutely right.
I want to, speaking of young men and liberal women, that post you did about that woman at the Phillies game, that woman's face summed up everything I despise about white liberal women.
Exactly.
And your Halloween costume, dude. That was so
I want to show everybody that. That's freaking hilarious.
Please do. I gotta be honest. I peed a little bit when I saw that.
That's got to be one of the funniest things. And whoever came out with that costume, I don't know. But I saw it and I was like, oh my God, that is freaking brilliant. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up here. I want everybody to see this. Oh, okay,
well,
here it is.
While you're pull it up.
I got it real quick. I'm gonna pull it up. I want you to see this. I want everybody to see this. So let me go ahead and share this screen real quick. All right, so this is it right here. Can you see it?
Yeah. Can you make it move it up a little bit?
Like this?
Yeah, there you go. Now it's
okay.
The screen.
So look, you got the hair, you got the glasses, you even got the torn jeans. Okay, and look, and I just received my Halloween costume. I had to think of the most vile, most horrible thing anyone could ever dream of being, and then it hit me: the liberal white woman, but not just any liberal white woman. I'm gonna be the liberal white woman from the Phillies game, down to the hair and the glasses, James. Those black. Big frame glasses are the absolute trademark of every liberal white woman.
It's just like the 4-inch eyebrows and 6-inch nails are the trademark of every ratchet ghetto rat hood woman. The big black frame, just like the woman from Cracker Barrel. She had the same glasses.
You're not wrong. And she did. They all have those. Why do they all have those big black frame glasses? It's like you can identify, but I like it, James. It's like the mark of the beast. You can identify these people by their glasses. I see somebody's glasses. It's the same thing as them having the snow cone colored hair. I can identify these people. I'm like, all right, I know who you voted for. I know what you're about. I don't even need to hear you speak.
Yeah, I need to avoid you at all costs, man.
Absolutely.
It's just, it is kind of weird that it doesn't seem like there's been that much news. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. I'm today before the show. I'm thinking, other than the anti-white racism, what the hell am I going to talk about?
I want to ask the chat. And by the way, guys, just so you know, I would join the chat. For some reason I can't sign in, but we do see your comments.
I try to put them on.
Does anyone else feel like we're on the verge of something big happening?
It's
either
felt like
bad
that for
or
good.
Now. I don't know. Just something.
But haven't you felt
big.
that tension for years now, though? Jim?
I have,
and it never comes, though. Damn it! It's like an orgasm, right? You're starting to feel it, but then for some reason it stops. It never comes. You never come, James.
Well, speak for yourself, brother. But
sorry, that's rated X for anybody.
I know. I do think some of it has to do with the dark shit we talked about in the first half of this show. I mean, Margaret's got that great book on OKC, but there's all this stuff is being uncovered by the alternative media, not just our show, but other shows. People are waking up. People are red pilled. There's now a majority of Americans believe that the government, at the very least, had forewarning of 9/11. A majority, and Trump promised transparency. We haven't seen shit. And we kept, how many episodes did we do where we said, when are we going to get justice? And look, I like Trump. I like the people he picked, but there's some really dark forces behind them.
Oh, yeah. Very dark. And you can feel it, just like you said. You can feel it. But like I said, it's almost like it never gets to that point, to the climax, to the tension part right there. For the last few years, it felt like something big is coming. A huge event, catastrophic, that might change the world, like a 9/11, that changed the way we look at everything, but it has not happened yet for some reason.
Part of that is because the deep state, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, they've been planning these different events, and you can look at history, and they did one after another. Even J6, remember, was in Michigan. They did a dry run on that, on the Whitmer kidnapping. It was all the exact same players. Even the FBI guy got sent to D.C. He ran the J6 operation. Well, now there's a little monkey wrench. A guy named Donald Trump got elected. He's got a different CIA director. He's got Tulsi Gabbard, maybe the most important in DNI. And they don't feel like they can get away with it right now. If they pulled some stunt like J6, like OKC, everyone would call them out on it. They know they can't get away with it. I go back to 2008. The thing is,
they can. There's no accountability, James. We can call them out on it, but nothing will happen to them.
Yeah, but see, like 9/11, everyone bought that, Jack. Everyone believed, including myself.
But if there's no accountability, who cares what we know?
Well, maybe that's the problem. They fear the accountability because before they knew that they wouldn't be arrested. I'm just throwing this out. I don't know this.
No, you're right. You're right. And James, real quick, since we still got a few minutes left, I wanted to tell you something that I found alarming. Okay, so Barack Obama, over the course of his time, he deported 8 million people, right?
Yeah,
maybe even 10, I believe. And even James or Joe Biden deported a few million people. But let me tell you a statistic that is extremely alarming, despite the fact that he ran on deporting people, James. Here's what's happening. So far, at the current rates, the Trump administration will deport 276,000 illegals annually. That means he will deport 1 million people over the course of his 4 years. That is 1/10 of the amount of people that Barack Obama
Well, how many self? Because there are quite a bit of self deportations going on.
Yeah,
They've
maybe
got
a million or two.
incentives.
Even that is 1/3 of what Barack Obama, without self deportations, removed. Tell me, what the hell is he doing?
Well,
He
I don't know.
campaigned on mass deportation. His deportation numbers are lower than any president in the last 60 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, and before we go, have you been following O'Keefe's work?
I mean, sometimes he does so much things. I mean, he's on it, man. He does so
but
much
this
work.
is big. He's Mitchell Reyes Rosas, a senior specialist at the FBI, was recorded claiming crucial Epstein case files are being covered up.
The Republican, redact the Republicans.
There's definitely something being held back. And frankly, this is a quote. And frankly, I don't think it's going to come until this administration is over. Rosa said powerful Democrats may be on the Epstein client list, speculating. The first one I've heard about Bill Clinton. He also accused leadership of broken promises. None of the people that are in a position to answer the questions are willing to do it because it's clear that they're covering something and protecting someone or some people. Last thing he says, my hope is that justice is being delayed. It's not being wiped clean.
Me too.
It's to protect these people. Ultimately, justice will come due. I mean,
did you see what else that O'Keefe uncovered? Where he said the same thing, but what's happening is he's an FBI person just like that. O'Keefe uncovered this, and it was a recorded video. Said that right now they are in the process of redacting all Republican names from the Epstein files before they release them. The Democrat names will be on the files.
Well, I mean, of course, that would be dead wrong. I mean, no one supports that.
But it's just unbelievable that this is happening. Oh, I do want to say that I am going to be on the Are You Smarter Than a Politician game show tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And James, you got to come on that sometime. It's a lot of fun, man.
I got to have an invitation.
Well, I didn't know you'd be interested. I'm going to talk to because you got to come on there sometime. It's a lot of fun, man. It really is.
I'd do it anytime. Absolutely.
You hear that, Free? He's willing to do it. It's a lot of fun. We got to get James on there too. So much.
What's this Anthony Weiner laptop back in the news? I didn't see that.
Is it really? I did not see that either. Kilburn, would you got more information on the Weiner laptop? The Weiner laptop.
I know.
What the hell are these names, man? The Weiner laptop. Oh boy. But the Weiner laptop's probably the sickest piece of evidence in the history of the world, if you ask me.
Well, it's still covered up. You know why?
And Free said that he's got you. They're gonna put you on the show. You see what he say?
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
Harry's the producer of the show.
Jack, give him my cell.
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
can
definitely.
text me. Yeah, or my email.
And they also DM you, so your DMs are on, right? They'll send you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't get a notification. I don't have my notifications on because my phone blows up. So
I do the same thing. I just look at it once in a while.
Yeah, I check it every now and then for sure. Well, man,
I'll give you your cell phone number also. I'm gonna plaster it real quick, so everybody.
So
can
that's
have it.
tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. You're gonna be on.
The one that I'm doing is tomorrow at 8, but they'll have to schedule you. Hopefully they can schedule.
That's great. I can't wait to watch it. Where do I find it? On X?
Yeah. Actually, I'll send it to you so you can watch it. It starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow, and it's a lot of fun because you're gonna want to watch because you're gonna want to see what you got to do.
I love
and
it.
the chat, and right here, Green Eye put 5,000 to Jack for being awesome. The chat controls the score on Are You Smarter Than a Politician? So it's a lot of fun. It's very funny. Hey, Kilburn just put something in our thing right here. This status is about the Anthony Weiner thing. How the heck do we click on that? It won't.
You can't, but you can look up the storm readout. We'll check it out. We'll have to hit it the next show though, because we're about out of time.
Well, we still got a few minutes. Let me just give me one. I just want to see if we can find this.
That's fine.
Because that is extremely interesting stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to type in Anthony Weiner laptop up here because I can't seem to. Anthony.
Weiner. X does seems to be the place for news anymore. It's just crazy.
Definitely. It's the only thing. So apparently John Solomon is reporting on the Anthony Weiner laptop. Kash Patel has opened an investigation into whether the FBI's own agents obstructed politically sensitive cases, one of them being Anthony Weiner's laptop. And it says one of the memos uncovered involves the discovery of Anthony Weiner's laptop. John Sullivan said the sources are telling him that a grand jury has been impaneled, and some of the evidence is going to be turned over in a bombshell notification to Congress later this month.
Okay, so what did I tell you just a few minutes ago? That they're uncovering some of this dark stuff, and some of the very darkest was on his laptop. If we're to believe,
his laptop is the sickest thing in the history of evidence. I mean,
if we're to believe these police officers that were whistleblowers, and several of them committed suicide.
Hell yeah, they did. That was some sick shit, man. I mean, you're talking. Let me just tell you one of the things that's on that laptop, and you know, if you can't stomach things, I would recommend just turn the show off now.
Supposedly.
Yeah, well, supposedly one of the things that's on this laptop is Hillary Clinton skinning alive a child. What was it called? And she put the mask. She put the child's face over her face. What was it called? There was a word for it that she called it. It was a specific word she called it.
I do remember.
That's it, frazzle drip. Thank you, Kilburn. It was called frazzle drip, and it is one of the sickest things you will ever see, James. And that's where frazzle drip came from, by the way.
Dude, there's so, we didn't even talk about it, but that text that I sent you over the weekend, that I was looking at this Twitter account. I really want to get her account and just shout it out to you guys. Okay, here it is. It's at B as in boy, X underscore on ON underscore X. So at BX underscore ON underscore X, and read her pinned tweet. It's a 4-part investigation that she did into these. They're the darkest, most satanic, just horrible. So she explains these massive school shootings. These guys are controlled by others on the internet, and she explained exactly how it's done. I mean, these people, this woman she talks about was very involved in intel, and she's gone dark. I mean, it's some crazy stuff. We'll have to do a deep dive into it maybe next week.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. I really appreciate you guys in the comments and the chat. Thank you very much. I am James Clary. He's Jack Danger. You've been listening to Secret America. We'll see you Sunday.
You've been listening to Secret America with Jack Danger and James Clary.